All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our yin yang practice. You can get set up comfortable on your mat, whether you're seated or laying down. That's totally up to you. We will start our movement from resting on our backs, so you can keep that in mind. But we'll take a few moments at first to just kind of shake off our day, start to settle into this moment on the mat, and set the intention to really be present for yourself and your practice over the next 45 minutes. So if you feel like you're settled, you've got some of those wiggles out of the way, you can allow your eyes to close and start to bring your awareness first to your breath. So noticing the air moving in and out through your nostrils. Maybe noticing the movement that you have through chest, shoulders, even your sides and your belly as you breathe in and out. And noticing today the depth of your breath. Is it in the chest? Is it flowing down into the belly? Are the ribs moving out to the side? So really just noticing for now. Noticing if it's quick or slow. And all of this can sort of give us information about our current state. So if things were a little busier today, your mind was a little more busy itself, maybe the breath mirrors that. Quick, shallow. Maybe if you've had a more calm day, a more connected day, it might naturally be a little deeper, a little slower today. The beautiful part is that we do have the power to start to shift the breath a little bit. So if you'd like, you can play around with deepening those inhales in. So we're kind of pressing down that diaphragm muscle. It'll feel like the belly expanding out on the inhales. And then nice and controlled, start to slow your exhale a little bit, starting to lengthen that out. I'll take a few breaths like that, really aware, a little bit more controlled. After your next exhale, if you are seated, slowly make your way to rest on your back body now. And we'll all bend the knees and plant the feet. I'm going to shift my feet out a little bit wider than usual today for this first part. And we'll find a gentle sway of the knees from side to side. On the exhale, lower your knees to one side. Use your inhale to bring them back through center, and exhale to shift over to the other side. Just taking a few rounds of flow. Inhales through center and exhales to gently twist. Next time you come through center, stay there. And we'll bring the feet so they're hip distance apart. So you might shimmy them in a little bit closer. Press your arms into the earth alongside your body. We'll start to press through the heels. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes at the top here. And exhale, nice and controlled, lower your hips back down to the earth. 2 more like that. Inhale to lift up, holding at the top. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale to lift, hold. Exhale, lower back down. When the hips have settled, draw your knees in towards the chest. You can take a little rock side to side here if that feels nice. And then finding stillness, we'll find some movement here. So slowly start to straighten your left leg out. Right knee stays hugged in. And your toes can be pointed up towards the ceiling, or they can be lowered down more to the floor, maybe just playing around with what feels good for you. Maybe feels like a little bit of a challenge, but not too much as we're starting to wake up. And then we'll bring the left knee in as you straighten the right leg out. Switching, right knee in, left leg stretches out. And then we'll switch. Let's do one more on each side. Left leg lengthens out, right knee in. We'll switch, left knee in, right leg reaches out. Keep the left knee where it is, hug the right knee in. Let's find some movement through the ankles here. So pointing and flexing through the feet. You can even circle the ankles out in one direction and then the other. Reach one arm overhead, slowly make your way to rest onto that side body. And then press into your hand, lift yourself up. We'll make our way into tabletop position. Fingers are spread really bright and wide here, grounding through all 4 corners of the hand. Flowing with your breath, inhale, lift the tailbone, let your belly drop, heart and gaze shift forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around your spine, look back towards your belly button. Flowing with the breath here, inhale, tailbone lifts, gaze lifts, spine is flowing. Exhale, tuck your tailbone around your spine. 2 more rounds, just like that. Tailbone leads, rest of the spine follows. We'll all meet in a neutral spine here. So top of the head is reaching forward, tailbone's reaching back. We're really thinking about finding length. You can tuck the toes or press down through shoelace side. It's really your choice. Feel the rib cage in the front kind of tuck in a little bit. So we're engaging through the core. On your inhale, lengthen your right leg out to behind you. We're about hip height. Trying to keep the core as neutral as we can. Bring your toes over towards the left. Tap them down to touch the left side of the mat. Inhale, lift back up, come through center. Cross over, tap the left edge of the mat. So tap the toes down, lift up, come back through center. There's a lot of engagement going on here. We'll do that once more. Cross over, lower down, tap the mat, lift back up, come through center. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, look forward, step that foot through between your hands. Inhale, lift up, find your low lunge. And we'll get really nice and engaged here. So imagine without moving it, you're dragging that right foot back and your left knee forward. So you can feel the hips kind of draw in towards the middle. Bring your hands to opposite shoulders. Give yourself a nice little hug. Feel the top of your head lift high. And on the exhale, start to rotate your torso towards the right. And this might be a really small movement. Maybe it's a bigger movement. Just play around with what feels good in your body today. Inhale, bring yourself back through to center. We'll uncross the arms, lower them down. From here, back toes are tucked, lift the left knee up so the hips are really high here. We're going to sweep the right toes all the way up behind us, three-legged dog. Try and keep yourself grounded evenly between both hands. Cross these right toes over. They're going to tap the left edge of the mat, just like we did from our tabletop. Inhale, float the toes back up. 2 more times. So you're crossing behind the left leg, tapping the mat. Float those toes back up. Whew. Once more here. Tap. Lifting up. Bring your right knee in towards the chest. Step your foot through between the hands. Left foot can plant for warrior one. Inhale to rise. Same engagement here. Imagine dragging right foot back, left foot forward. We're really feeling these hips start to engage. Bend your elbows, find cactus arms. Start to look up, lift the heart. Bring yourself to a neutral spine. Hands come to connect at heart center. Start to lean forward into your right foot. Shift your torso forward. We'll drag the left toes in. When you're ready, playing with floating the back toes, bowing the heart forward, warrior three. Think about pressing the wall away behind you with that left foot. Slowly rise up to stand, releasing left foot alongside right. If you want to take a little shake to let that go, take a little shake. And we'll land in our Tadasana, mountain pose, palms facing forward. Heart is open, maybe rolling the shoulders here. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, sit your hips back as though you're sitting in an imaginary chair. So weight is shifted back into the heels here. Exhale, hinge over your hips, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine halfway. Top of the head is reaching forward, sitting bones reaching behind. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands. We'll step the feet to the back of the mat. Deep bend in the knees, come down to find your tabletop position. And give yourself any adjustments if you need to shift the knees a little bit here. Let's do a quick round of cat-cow. Inhale, lift the tailbone, rest of the spine follows, gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, look back towards your belly button. We'll meet in a neutral spine. Top of that head is reaching forward, sitting bones reaching back behind us. And find that little tuck in of the rib cage in the front here. So we're using that to try and keep the pelvis steady when we start to find movement through the legs. Inhale, lengthen your left leg out behind you. We're about hip height here. And again, we're trying to keep evenly grounded through both hands. It's going to be obviously a little shifty when we've got one leg down. Cross your leg over the right leg. We'll tap the left toes down. Lift back up, come back through center. So we're trying to keep the movement in the leg as much as we can, trying to keep the upper body steady. Cross your left leg over. Tap the toes down. Lift back up and shift through center. Once more here, cross over. Tap down. Lift up. Shift through center. Bring your knee in towards your chest, let the spine round here. We'll step foot through between hands. Once you feel steady, lifting up, low lunge. Nice and engaged through the base here, feeling lift and length through each side of the body. Cross your arms, give yourself that nice little hug. Feel length through the spine. Exhale, we'll start to rotate towards the left. Try and keep your gaze at an unmoving spot. That will help with balance. Inhale, slowly guide yourself back through to center. We'll uncross the arms, lower them down. Lift your back knee so the hips start to lift high here, pressing into the hands. Inhale, sweep the left toes up and back, three-legged dog. Cross your leg behind the right, left toes tap down. Inhale, lift back up. Two more just like that. If the toes don't tap all the way down, that's okay if you're just getting that crossing motion. Once more here. We'll bring knee in towards chest. Step or help your foot through. Right foot plants. Inhale to rise. Warrior one. Nice and engaged through the legs. Bend your elbows to find cactus. Slowly start to lift your gaze, lift your heart. And come back to neutral. Hands connect at the heart. Shift your weight forward into that left foot. Drag the right toes in a little bit here. So both legs are straight. Imagine pressing earth away with your left foot. When you're ready, you can start to float those back toes. So we're hinging over the hips here as the torso starts to shift forward. Maybe we're noticing some wiggles and wobbles to the ankle. I know I am. And slowly rise up to stand. We'll release right foot alongside left again. Maybe you want to take a nice little shake. Let all that go. Doesn't have to be so structured and serious all the time. This can be a good time for that reminder. When you're ready, finding your Tadasana mountain pose. And we'll just stay here for a few rounds of breath. We dove right into a lot of balance, a lot of movement. So we'll take a moment to reset, feel both feet really ground to the earth. Take a moment to reconnect to your breath. Maybe it started to speed up. Maybe it started to be a little more shallow here. That happens sometimes when we've got a lot more movement. So just coming back to a rhythm. The eyes have closed. You can gently flicker them open now. Inhale, reach your arms all the way overhead. On the exhale, flip your palms, almost swan dive down. So the arms dive out towards the side, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop your feet to the back of the mat, finding your plank. Always the option to lower knees here. Eyes of the elbows spin forward. Exhale, slowly lower yourself down to connect to the earth. Press through shoelace side of the feet. Inhale, start to lift the heart, lift the gaze. If you want to lift all the way up into upward dog, always your option. Exhale, lower before making your way to downward dog. Full breath in through the nose. Open your mouth side out, let it go. Inhale, reach your right toes up and back behind you. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, look forward, step or help your foot through between your hands. Inhale to rise up. Crescent lunge. Bend your elbows, find cactus arms. This time we'll bring the arms in front of one another. Maybe you just stay here. Another option is to bring right elbow underneath the left, twisting, bringing palms towards one another, finding eagle arms. If you prefer to just cross arms and give yourself that little hug again, totally great. From here, see if you can lift the elbows a little bit, start to lift the gaze. Lift the chest. Slowly lower back down, come to neutral, unravel the arms. And then we'll sweep arms behind us, shifting forward, airplane. Notice if you're holding the breath, let it flow. From here, reach your arms in front of you. So they're sort of following this angle of your body from your heel up the leg, through the spine, out the arms. We'll interlace fingers together here. We're creating a little basket. Shift your weight forward into the right foot. Option to drag the left toes in first before you stand up and bring left knee in towards the chest, taking hold of the knee in your basket here. Keep pressing earth away with that right foot. Slowly release the left foot, bringing it alongside the right. From here, we'll sit the hips back, sweep the arms up, chair pose. You might have guessed where we're going. So we are going to make our way into eagle pose. So if you do have any sort of block or a big pillow or anything you want to use to help balance, you can set it up on the outside of your right foot now. We'll bend the elbows, find cactus arms. Bring them forward to one another. Option here to cross right arm under left. Maybe you give yourself a hug, or maybe you want to bring palms towards one another, finding your eagle arms. Option to stay here in your chair pose. Option to start to lift the left heel, maybe lift that whole left leg, cross it over the right. So this is where you can bring this kickstand in to tap your left toes down on if you'd like. Steady breath. Again, the ankle might be wiggling, wobbling. It's okay. Slowly start to unravel the left leg. Lower the foot down. We'll straighten the legs unravel your arms here, sweep them all the way up overhead. Lower the right arm alongside the body, reach up and over with left finger, stretching through the left side. Maybe this right arm even comes behind your back here. Then we'll find a switch, lifting right arm up, left arm down, reach up and over towards the left. Maybe that left arm comes behind your back here. Come back up through center. We'll lower both arms. Beautiful time for a little shake if that feels good for you before landing into Tadasana. Inhale, arm sweep all the way overhead. Exhale, flip your palms, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back into your plank. Exhale to lower through chaturanga. Inhale to find your back bend. And exhale, make your way to a downward dog. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Inhale to sweep the left toes up and back behind you. See if you can squeeze the glutes a little bit more here. Lift a little higher. Moving left knee in towards the chest. Step or help your foot through between your hands. Inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Bend your elbows, find cactus arms. We'll bring the arms in towards one another. This time, left elbows coming underneath. Find your personal expression of eagle arms. And when you're ready, option to start to lift the arms, lift the heart, lift the gaze here. Slowly start to bring yourself back to neutral. We'll unravel the arms, sweep them behind you as you shift forward, airplane. We're tapping into that line of energy already. So from the back heel, up that back leg, through the spine, out the top of the head. Nice and controlled, start to reach your arms forward in front of you. Interlace your fingers, create a basket. Leaning into the left foot, start to drag your right toes in. And we'll start to bring right knee in towards the chest as we stand, catching that knee in our basket. I like to flex my right toes in towards my face. It helps balance. So you can play around with that. Press the earth away with the left foot. Find a steady point to set your gaze. We'll slowly drop that right foot down to land. Sit your hips back, reach the arms up, chair pose. If you're using a block or any sort of prop as a kickstand, you can bring it to the outside of your left foot now. Bend the elbows, find cactus. As you bring the arms in front of you, left arm crosses under right. Find your eagle arms expression. Option here to lift the right leg, cross it over the left. Steady breath. And slowly uncross that right leg, planting your foot. We'll uncross the arms. This time, let's take a few big circles. So we'll reach the arms up and back as though you're doing a breath or a backstroke. And then bend the elbows, reach the arms behind you. So you're holding opposite forearms. We'll slowly lower right ear towards right shoulder. Bring your head back through center, left ear to left shoulder. We'll lift back up. Release the arms. Inhale, arms sweep all the way overhead. Exhale, hinge over your hips, forward fold. Head hangs heavy here. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands. We'll step the feet to the back of the mat, this time lowering knees to the earth. Send hips back towards heels. Find yourself in a child's pose. You can support the head with any props you have or staff fists if that feels good. And allow yourself a few rounds of breath to start to shift your energy, slow everything down. Come back to your breath. Your hands are extended forward in front of you. Slowly start to walk them in. Lift your torso. Sit yourself onto one hip and swing your legs around in front of you. Extend one leg out. Let's do the left leg out in a half V shape. Right knee is bent. The foot's coming into the inner lining of the thigh. And give yourself a moment to sit up nice and tall here. Use your inhale to reach the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, lower your left arm alongside the body, reach up and over with right fingers. Option to bend your right elbow, bringing hand behind head here. As you settle into the breath here, see if you can feel the movement, so the expansion and then the softening of the rib cage on your right side. Inhale, slowly lift yourself back up. We'll switch the legs. So right leg extends out, left knee bends and comes in. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, arms reach all the way overhead. Exhale, this time lower your right hand down, reach up and over with left fingers. So big full stretch through the left side. Again, option to bend this elbow, bringing hand behind your head. And seeing if you can feel that subtle movement in the left side of your rib cage with each breath in, each breath out. Inhale to slowly lift back up. And bring the right knee to bend, left knee bend. And slowly start to make your way to rest onto your back body. Bend your knees, bring them in towards the chest. We'll take a nice little rock side to side here. So massaging out through the lower tissues. Bring your hands to the back of your legs. Start to lift your heels all the way up towards the ceiling. If you want to actually shift against a wall and rest your legs, you can. Maybe you want to bring your hands underneath your sacrum, creating a little diamond shape here for that little extra support. Also an option. And just settling in with your breath. And slowly start to bend your knees, lower your feet down to the earth. And from here, bring soles of feet to touch, let knees fall out to the outer edges. And you can bring hands to rest here on the belly. Maybe you want to bring one hand to chest, one to belly. So really good opportunity to connect back to the breath and actually feel the movement, not only within your torso, but also feeling the hands move as the breath goes. If you have pillows, you can bring them underneath the knees here for a little extra support. With each exhale, see if you can soften a little bit more here. If you're gripping the jaw at all, let that release. See if you can soften the muscles in and around the eyes. And through the neck, the shoulders. Really just allowing yourself to soften into this moment, into this rest. If you're comfortable where you are, you're welcome to stay here for your final rest. Otherwise, you can make any adjustments to your position, but continuing to focus on that softening into the moment, softening into your rest. Allow yourself to simply be. And slowly begin to expand your awareness to your external surroundings. So allowing sound, scent, temperature, all of that to start to slowly come back to your awareness. And using this awareness, you can invite a little bit of gentle energy and movement back to your body. So starting small, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe rolling wrists, rolling ankles. Allow yourself any larger movements to help wake your body up. And slowly make your way into a comfortable seated position, tall spine, open heart. We'll all roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale, arms sweep all the way overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in to connect at the heart. And from my heart to yours, thank you.